streaming services.
Stock of the damage that was caused by the wicked winds from Hurricane Fiona. Hundreds of thousands of Nova Scotia Power customers are still off the grid, and it remains to be seen exactly when their power will be restored. Graham Benjamin has the latest.
That tree never fell down.
Domenico Giansante is counting his blessings. He awoke to find this tree leaning against his West End Halifax home after Fiona's force sent it barreling down. No one was hurt and his home sustained minimal damage.
The branch was so close to my house, so I opened the door and there was the whole tree there.
Another branch once it broke there.
Mike Fougere is also feeling lucky. He lives down the road from Giansante, where this tree in his backyard nearly struck his home, missing by mere centimeters.
And around 5, I was in that room and I could hear a shh, like another noise like that, and then I looked out straight and it's bare open.
Others in the city not so fortunate, like the owners of these vehicles, both in need of a new windshield. Fiona brought heavy rain and hurricane-force winds, reaching gusts of over 170 kilometers an hour for those along the coast.
The better part of the weight is being held by those 2 wires there.
The storm almost left Martin Beaver without a roof. It was saved by power lines and a single tree branch. Now he's just waiting for someone to clean it up.
One of the tree guys said that this is one of the more difficult ones because they have to use a crane and stuff like that.
The Canadian Armed Forces has been called in to help remove trees like these that have still been left unattended. Nova Scotia Power says these kinds of blocked off roads makes doing their job even more difficult.
In some locations, we have whole streets where trees have come down and broken almost every pole along that street. And we're using all those additional crews that we've brought in.
As for Giansante, he's trying to find the light during a difficult time.
Trying to give the tree away free, nobody wants it.
A deal for Nova Scotians who already received much more than they bargained for. Graham Benjamin, Global News, Halifax.
Florida is bracing for troubling conditions of its own as approaching tropical storm Ian is set to strengthen into a major hurricane. Residents are already filling up sandbags and loading up on supplies, with Ian on track to strike by Thursday, bringing severe rain and winds, also a potentially dangerous storm surge. The state's governor has already declared a state of emergency. He says conditions are, quote, projected to constitute a major disaster.
So expect heavy rains, strong winds, flash flooding, storm surge, and even isolated tornadoes. Make preparations now, and I know a lot of people have been doing it throughout the state of Florida, and the things that you should be prepared with are things like food, water, batteries, medicine, fuel.
Currently, Ian is still in the Caribbean as it grazes Cuba in a few days. Winds could peak at more than 200 kilometers an hour in the Gulf of Mexico, and that may weaken before it reaches Florida, but a storm surge as high as 4 meters is expected. In the Philippines, thousands are being forced to flee coastal homes and flights are being canceled as a typhoon gains strength and starts to batter the region. Typhoon Noru has winds gusting around 195 kilometers an hour. Numerous ferry services were suspended and airlines canceled 30 domestic and international flights in and out of Manila. Noru is expected to bring torrential rains over the capital region and nearby provinces as it moves westward. This week, the January 6th committee will hold what could be its final hearing. And while the witness list is still no, let's check in with meteorologist Peter Quinlan. Hey, Peter.
Hi, Mark. Temperatures this morning in the Kingston area kicked off around 12 degrees, 12 toward Point Petra, 2, Trenton to 11, and 10 in Brockville. Made it up into those mid-teens this afternoon, and a little bit of shower action happening out there across the area. As we take a bit of a wider glance, we've got some stronger storms actually pushing through the GTA late today that we are watching. Meantime, remember Hurricane Fiona? Well, it's now extratropical. It's now marching its way up into the Labrador Sea, actually. So we are seeing some lighter winds associated with that. We've got some rain on the way for the Kingston area as we take you toward the middle of the week. Could see 20 to 30 millimeters potentially in the area. Peterborough area slightly less than that. But as we take you into your day tomorrow, 14 degrees at 9 a.m. Chance of showers. Could see a midday thunderstorm with temperatures hopping up to 16 degrees. Coming up, we'll tell you how much rain to expect and when it will start to taper off. Mark.
Thank you very much, Peter. In other news, one person has